Sat down one-on-one today with Secretary Buttigieg inside that brand new terminal at PDX that is taking shape, a vision of the future of flying in Portland, while safety concerns from Alaska 1282 are still fresh in many passengers' minds.
It was shocking, and it should never have happened.
In a KGW exclusive, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg reacting to the preliminary report from federal transportation investigators that the bolts meant to secure the door plug on Alaska 1282 appeared to be missing after repairs at Boeing last September and before the 737 MAX 9 was delivered to the airline.
We just heard like a loud bang or like a boom.
Does that finding make you more worried, less worried?
Well, bottom line, it's unacceptable. As you acknowledged, the investigation is with NTSB. We respect their independence. But based on that preliminary finding, the next obvious question is how? How can that happen? How can an aircraft go into service with passengers getting on board when bolts are missing that need to be there for obvious reasons?
We just declared an emergency. We needed to send down the 10,000.
But it scared everyone. It didn't matter where you were sitting on the plane. It was terrifying.
And while all 177 passengers and crew survived the explosive decompression over Portland that Friday night in early January, they're now looking to the top for answers and action.
We need to look at the close calls and treat them just the same way that America used to treat the last crash.
So what do you do differently?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, Boeing, of course, is under a microscope right now. FAA is looking at every step of their process to understand how their, not just their quality control, but really their safety culture works and what needs to change.
The FAA now halfway through an audit, looking at supply chains, production both in and out of house, and to what extent Boeing employees, on behalf of the regulator, should be inspecting their own aircraft.
I think everything needs to be on the table right now.
Boeing CEO saying more scrutiny will make the company better and committing to total transparency.
Have you had conversations with the Boeing CEO, and what have you told him?
Yeah, I've spoken to him directly about our concerns, especially in the wake of this Alaska Airlines incident, and the need for Boeing to demonstrate, with the avoidance of any doubt whatsoever, that they are capable of not just designing safe aircraft, but building and delivering aircraft that meet those high design standards. I think he certainly understands our concern. He has said all of the right things, but it's not about what you say, it's about the results. And the results are what are being audited right now by the FAA.
How confident are you that we will find a better balance that not only fixes manufacturing issues and makes sure this never happens again, but also reassures the public and the perception that there's something wrong going on the assembly line in Renton?
Well, I have a lot of confidence in Administrator Whitaker's leadership, and what he said is there's no going back to business as usual at Boeing. And that's already the case. What needs to happen now is a process that everybody can feel 1,000% confident in. And frankly, that part is still under construction.
In other words, very much a work in progress as they try over the coming weeks and months to figure out a balance that, bottom line, ensures each and every plane coming out of Boeing is, in the Secretary's words, 1,000% safe. It's a pretty high bar. We'll keep you updated as the FAA and others make decisions and changes. By the way, tomorrow, Secretary Buttigieg is going to take a closer look at another piece of Portland infrastructure, one that celebrates 107 years this week. We are, of course, talking about the Interstate bridge over the Columbia. I pressed the Secretary on whether there's more federal funding on the way after announcing $600 million in December toward the $6 billion price tag. It seems the answer was not yet. So I asked him to describe the current condition of the span, again, turning 107. In his words, not good enough.